When the Vorak Empire first encountered humanity, they had expected another primitive species crawling out of its gravity well for the first time. Their scouts laughed at Earth's battered satellites, its half-repaired space stations, its patchwork fleet of civilian retrofits pretending to be warships. In the Vorak High Council's assessment logs, humanity was labeled militarily insignificant, socially volatile, and technologically inconsistent. But Captain Arvin of the Vorak Navy had disagreed. He had been stationed in the ruins of the Kuran system when a solar flare crippled his cruiser. His distress beacon failed, his backup core melted, and 300 Vorak crew faced suffocation as oxygen ran low. Star empires passed them by. Allies ignored the weak signal. Rivals hoped they'd die. Only a single human ship responded, an old, Mercy-class hospital cruiser named Horizon dawned under dashmanned. Underarmed and barely spaceworthy, the humans still burned half their fuel reserves to reach the dying Vorak ship. They forced docking by hand. They patched oxygen lines with human tape, used Earth-made clamps on Vorak valves, and treated alien physiology with trembling but determined hands. Captain Arvin never forgot the sight, a human medic crying because she didn't know if her improvised bandages would work on an alien she'd never seen before. They saved all 300 Vorak. In the official records, it was marked human interference, but Arvin knew better. It was Mercy 10 years past. Mercy was forgotten by everyone except the humans. Now the Vorak Empire had grown bold. They annexed the Asheran Belt, they blockaded the Shatters Straits, and finally, they set their sights on the one thing they thought humans would never defend, the unaligned frontier of Helios Reach, a region Earth used for refugee resettlement. The Vorak wanted it. They wanted its minerals, its trade lanes, its position, and they assumed Earth would fold. After all, humanity was small. Humanity was weak. Humanity was quiet these days, but the Vorak forgot two things. Humans do not forget a favor. And humans never, ever forget a betrayal. It began with the destruction of Outpost Helios 3, a peaceful listening post staffed by volunteers, scientists, engineers, and a handful of retired soldiers running training programs for alien refugees. Vorak raiders hit a dawn cycle. They didn't issue warnings. They didn't negotiate. They simply fired. 73 humans died. And among the shattered debris, a single Vorak insignia was found, the same squadron badge once worn by Captain Arvin's fleet. Humanity tried diplomacy. They sent envoys. They sent evidence. They asked for justice. The Vorak High Council offered none. They denied involvement, blamed pirates, and mocked the humans for their emotional instability. That's when Earth activated a protocol no alien had ever seen before. Retribution Clause 0, a forgotten line buried in old treaties. A promise written not in legalese but in the blood of 1,000 human wars. If attacked without cause, humanity will respond with the full sum of its memory. Alien nations scoffed. What could humanity possibly do? In the darkness of deep space, the first memory fleet awakened, not battleships, war titans, each the size of mountains and powered by quantum-linked fusion cores. Not fighters, smart drones, each capable of rewriting battlefield physics through microfold generators. Not soldiers, the memory guard, humans who had lived through Earth's worst wars, genetically stabilized and equipped with exoframes that let them cross. Vacuum like walking across snow, but what terrified the galaxy most was not their technology. It was the message attached to the fleet's departure, for the lives lost on Helios 3, for the favor we once granted, for the betrayal we cannot forgive. Captain Arvin, now an admiral, received the message personally, and his hearts turned cold. The Vorak Empire scrambled its armadas. 50 planetary shields were activated. Fleets triangulated kill zones across 3 solar systems. The Vorak thought they could predict human strategy. They believed humanity would fight like everyone else. They were wrong. The humans didn't strike supply lines. They didn't hit command centers. And they didn't even target soldiers. Instead, they transmitted one final warning to the Vorak homeworld. We are returning your forgotten favor. Then humanity deployed the weapon the galaxy had, whispered about but never believed existed, the planet breaker array, not a bomb. not a beam. A gravitational accelerator capable of turning a moon into a spear. They didn't aim at cities. They didn't aim at civilians. They targeted the Vorak Empire's pride, the military fortress moon of Dravaris, a hollowed-out world bristling with cannons that had once overseen the destruction of Helios-3. The moon cracked like a glass ornament. A shockwave rippled through the system. The Vorak armada collapsed under its own gravitational chaos. And then silence. The humans didn't advance further. They didn't conquer. They didn't boast. They simply sent their last transmission. We repay what is owed. Mercy for mercy. Death for death. We do not forget. When the ashes settled, Admiral Arvin alone understood the full meaning. Humans hadn't destroyed the Vorak Empire. They hadn't crippled their civilization. They had destroyed only the military heart that had chosen betrayal. Arvin saw the message. Clearly, humanity was not wrathful. Humanity was remembering. So he traveled to Earth alone, unarmed, and offered himself before the United Terran Assembly. He bowed his head and spoke the truth. You saved my crew once. I should have stopped this war. I failed. If punishment is required, take me. But the human chairwoman shook her head. We don't want your life. We want your memory. Arvin didn't understand until she added, help us rewrite what your government forgot. And for the first time in Vorak history, a former enemy stood beside humanity to rebuild what war had broken. Witnesses say that was the day. The galaxy understood humanity's true nature, not ruthless. Not vengeful, but terrifying in a different way. They remember everything. Every kindness. Every scar. Every promise. And in the quiet halls of the assembly, where peace treaties were finally signed, one human diplomat said what the galaxy would repeat for centuries. Mankind never forgets a favor. And our revenge shatters planets.